How long does one fringe take you? 3 hours? What if I told you there's a way to create a flawless, crisp, sculpted fringe, even if you've never been able to draw straight lines? In this video, I'll reveal a technique with dual forms and silicone molds that guarantees a perfect smile line every time. No hand painting, no touch-ups, and all in just 90 minutes. Ready to forget your fear of French for good? Watch every step closely. Here's what our hands look like today. At first glance, nothing complicated, but we know this is always how it starts. So, no chit-chat, let's get to work. Since we'll be doing nail extensions, we remove the old coating completely, along with the length. By the way, these were nail extensions on gel tips. And here's my sincere advice. Always wear glasses during removal because a piece of the tip can shoot straight into your eye. And trust me, that is not pleasant, already tested. We remove according to the standard scheme, leaving only a thin layer of base on the natural nail. The tip, however, is filed off completely because it adds extra bulk, and then the shape can turn out completely different from what we need. This moment is really important to keep in mind. After removal, we carefully open the pocket. No overdoing it here. Personally, I use a metal stick. I've already talked about it in previous videos, so we won't stay on this for too long now. Next, once the pocket is opened, we must smooth out the nail plate after the Efile and lift the scales for better adhesion with the material. For this, I take a 180 grit file, the golden middle. This grit works both for natural nails and for artificial materials. Going coarser isn't allowed because there's a risk of overfiling the plate. And if you go finer, it's pointless, you'll just waste a lot of time while the result will be the same. And of course, even with this universal 180, you can cause serious damage if you press like you're hammering nails. At the same time, we shorten the length. The pressure, the more the file removes with each stroke. Next, we move on to the Efile manicure. And here, I'll be honest, I'm a huge fan of working dry. That's why I usually don't use keratolytic either during prep or while trimming. But that doesn't mean I ignore it completely. There's a type of cuticle that simply won't budge unless you soften it first. So here we look at the situation and choose the manicure technique for the specific cuticle type. The workflow is classic. First we work the left side on forward, then the right side on reverse. The main thing here is to keep the correct angle in relation to the nail plate and the cuticle. Now we move on to cutting the cuticle. And here's one golden rule to remember. Everything in moderation, we only cut off the transparent part of the dead tissue. The more you cut, the faster it will grow back. It's not magic, just the body's natural protective reaction. So we approach this with understanding and without overdoing it. Next comes prep for application. And here's a very important point. Make sure your cleanser is high quality because at least half of your coating's durability depends on it. Once I switched my cleanser to a softer one and immediately got lifting. I went back to my old one and everything started holding perfectly again. That's why you need to pay attention to this. Sometimes the problem isn't in your technique or your hands at all, but in such a tiny detail as the quality of the cleanser. We dehydrate the nails, apply dehydrator and primer. Let's move on to the base coat. We apply a medium layer, no alignment, but thick enough so the underlayer cushions nicely. And of course, we cure it in the lamp for 1 minute. And now attention, we're about to create a sculpted French. For this, we'll need dual forms and our secret trick, silicone molds. Yes, we've already worked with them before, but today I'll share a few hacks that will actually cut your working time down to a maximum of 90 minutes. We start by choosing the form. It must perfectly cover the growth points but not be pressed too tightly. It's better to take one slightly larger than the nail itself. That way it will be both easier and neater. And here's the first secret, marking. To make sure all nails come out even, we need to mark the growth points. I use a regular permanent marker for this. It wipes off easily with the cleanser, so don't worry. Next, we mark the line where our future gel nail bed will end. Then we add another mark. This will be the final nail length and the width of the French itself. We do these markings on every finger. Believe me, it's like drawing a map before a trip. It makes laying the gel, placing the mold, and making the imprint much easier because you already have control points and your hand works much more confidently. Next, we'll need a white gel polish. And here's my tip right away. Pick one that's pigmented but still cures well. And of course, our molds. Mine are from one set, so it's simple. If the form is number 5, then the mold must also be number 5. Let's keep this first grade math so we don't get confused. Now we coat the form with white gel polish. And here's the most common mistake, applying it too thin. As a result, the French line comes out with bald spots and streaks. Don't be afraid to apply it densely, it will cure just fine. What matters most is that the mold grabs the gel so the smile line comes out crisp and even. For demonstration, I'll deliberately apply it too thin now so you can see what it looks like in the end. And of course, I'll immediately show you how to fix this mess if it happens. So, we coat the whole form and insert the mold. With an orange stick, press it well inside so it fits snugly across the entire surface. Then flip it over and check. Is the mold symmetrical and hasn't it slipped past the first mark? In our case, everything's symmetrical, everything looks good. Now we flash cure it with a mini lamp so that in the main lamp the mold doesn't shift. Only after that do we send it for full polymerization. We repeat the same process with all the forms. There's one more important detail. When you place the mold and press it into the form, make a few light up and down movements. Why? So that the edge of the mold picks up some gel polish and creates its own gel sidewall inside the form. That way, the smile line comes out as crisp as possible. And another tip, keep a close eye to make sure there are no bubbles along that line. Believe me, in the final result, they'll be visible and you won't be able to cover them up later. After curing, we remove the mold. But girls, don't rip it off. Do it carefully, slowly, step by step so the French doesn't chip. The easiest way is with tweezers. Remove the mold, then turn the form away from yourself and use the tweezer tip to lift off the white polish we no longer need. Everything that was under the mold comes off very easily. The key is no sudden movements. If you see streaks on the form after removing, don't panic. That's just leftover sticky layer from the polish and it cleans up perfectly even with a regular buffer. Now we move on to laying the gel. Here we need a thick builder gel. Mine is in a powder pink shade, perfect for French. The consistency is quite dense, but it self-levels beautifully. First, with a flat brush, I coat the area where the mold was so the gel spreads evenly. I pay special attention to the smile line, making sure there isn't a single bubble left there. Then I pick up a bead of gel and start laying it right from the smile line, just like in classic nail extensions. And what we get is that we're building extensions already with a finished French. Honestly, that's a genius idea. Once the gel is laid out, we dock the foam with the nail at a 45-degree angle. And this is where our markings come in handy. They act like guide lights. We place the form straight, lower it so it covers the growth points, and fix everything with a UV flash lamp. Then we flip the finger over and if needed, add a bit more gel and smooth it out. You can do this with a flat brush or a fine liner. And honestly, the fine brush is the winner here. It gets into all those tricky spots the bigger brush simply can't reach. We repeat the same with the other forms, but pay attention. There must be enough gel along the sidewalls. If it's too little, the parallels will be fragile and crack within the first few days. And we don't need one-day beauty, we need strength and durability. Another thing, when you place the form, make sure you don't end up with a runway. The nail should point straight ahead, not off into the sky. Once the gel is leveled, we send it to cure a minute and a half in the lamp. And now, attention, let's listen for my favorite sound. Anything sticking out or if a little step has formed, we calmly remove it with a diamond bit. Everything goes super easy here, no extra effort needed. You don't even need a carbide bit for this. Next, we refine the lower parallels. There's very little filing work because the form has already built the whole architecture for us. All that's left is to perfect it. And honestly, from my experience, this is truly the fastest way to do a fringe. It took me 1 hour 40 minutes total, and that's including filming, which always slows the process down. And the main thing, the smile line came out absolutely perfect. If you also want to confidently create not only French but that same Instagram crisp square everyone loves, this masterclass is already available for my level 3 sponsorship subscribers, my students. And now my best friend comes into play, the pododisc. I absolutely love working with it. It lets you shorten the length lightning fast, and for achieving a crisp square, it's simply irreplaceable. I set the speed to maximum, but if you're just getting to know this tool, I'd recommend starting with low speed so you can really feel how it works. And here's an example of what I warned you about. When too little gel polish was applied into the form, you get these bald spots. Yes, they can be fixed now, but why bother if you could have done it flawlessly right from the first stage? To fix it, just take a fine brush, correct all the little details, and send it back to cure for 1 more minute. At this stage, you can already go ahead and seal with top coat and the job is done. But my client wanted a slight toning near the cuticle zone, so I add a little more gel there. First I coat the area we call the nail bed, then I take a small bead and spread it across the nail without touching the smile line. Cure it and it's ready. After polymerization, we must remove the sticky layer and apply top coat. Cure the top for no less than 2 minutes. Don't cut corners here because this is what gives the final shine. And now comes my favorite finishing ritual, cleansing and moisturizing. For cleansing, I use a foam. It thoroughly washes off all the dust, removes dryness, and at the same time perfectly hydrates the skin. And for extra care, we add a drop of cuticle oil. The skin instantly looks well groomed and glowing. Well, beauties, our French is ready, just look at it. Perfect smile line, even parallels, and all of this without 3 hours of torture and broken brushes. Your nervous system will definitely thank you, and now you'll know how to turn this complicated design into something light and quick. I really want you to try this technique and write in the comments how it turned out for you, because I'm sure you'll be shocked at how much easier it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't get lost, and I'll see you in the next video. Well, for now I'm saying goodbye, but not for long. Bye bye beauties.